Alright, so from my experience in the Prismata tournament, and just from generally keeping a light eye on how things are going, it seems to me like the metagame is generally Handlock Zoo, Priest is a big one, some Warrior. I'm going to go off of that information, and I think that a Handlock deck would do pretty well in this format. I'm going to get rid of Loatheb. I should have for the tournament, but I forgot to. In the Shield Master too. So this was the general idea that I had. Put a few more big stuff in it to handle the more control-oriented metagame. 4 AoE to handle the Zoo, and 2 Shadow Flame to handle the control late game. Big game Hunter against mirrors. With the removal of Leroy Jenkins and Power Overwhelming, this now has nearly no burst in it. So it's more like a control deck. But I think it should be good.
For it.
Your soul shall be mine!
Why don't I put in Black Knight in the deck? Actually, I probably should. What do I think of Ardew's Kel'Thuzad Paladin? It's good. I myself am still reluctant to go with the Kel'Thuzad route. Hard to say whether it was just a good run. I do think Paladin is strong though. This looks like an aggro priest, or aggro mage. So Hellfire is going to be really good, but the matchup is probably poor. What is the counter to Handlock? Well, this deck is going to be favored against me. Shaman is very strong. Paladin is good.
We have many secrets.
I cannot tap anymore. I think with just these cards in hand, I can win the game. I mean, basically I don't need to lose any more life.
Shields up.
Why play Handlock when Leroy is nerfed? Well, this deck performs just fine as a control deck, in my opinion.
I got this.
I could be wrong, who knows? But I think it's good. Do I want to Shadow Flame the 2 water elementals? No, because if he removes these guys, I will probably be dead anyways to direct damage. It would be really nice to get another Taunter, but life would be too easy then. Is Alex Strauss still good in Handlock? I think so, but I prefer Lord Jiraxis. Can you do both? Maybe. Alright.
Your soul shall be mine!
Oh, is this the same guy? The Faceless is tempting with the Mountain Giant, but something bad could happen to the Giant and then Faceless has nothing. Actually, shouldn't I keep Sludge Belcher then? Since it goes 2 into 4 into 5. Alright. Answering a few random questions. Do I think Uther is good in this deck? No, because it doesn't do enough for 9 mana. If you don't have Lord Jaraxxus, you could consider replacing with the following cards. Alexstrasza, barring that. Oh wow. I mean, you just go down a list of cards depending on whether or not you have them. Alexstrasza is a good replacement. If you don't have that, Black Knight. If you don't have that, how about Sen'jin Shieldmaster and Second Mortal Coil? It's like you just go down the list of other good cards. Why do I use 2 Hellfires? It's because there's Zoo.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
This looks like it's one of those funky Freeze Mage, Secret Mage hybrids. Funky. Not sure whether or not it's going to run direct damage. How does Handlock deal with early aggro? Try casting Hellfire. I'm uncertain about his play right now. Do I want to go Sludge Belcher or go more aggressive and go Tap Giant? I think I can afford a little bit more damage. And I'll kill his guy. Which I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't been fire blasting his guy instead of my face. Why only 1 Siphon Soul? Well, it's kind of replaced with Sylvanas Windrunner.
I wonder.
Kind of. Which serves kind of the same purpose. Whether or not it's good is up to you to decide. Okay, hit Coil, hit it with the Giant, and then Giant, and then Taunt. Fat out there.
I'll show them. I'll show them all. Force my hand.
I got this.
Force my hand.
I'm uncertain about whether or not that deck runs. It could be Mirror Entity. No, that would be a bit weird.
So many possibilities.
Alright, I do have 2 owls. I think I can use one.
Almost out of time.
I was just thinking, like, you know, in case he plays Doomsday or Freeze, I can Hellfire to make room. And this is probably a bad idea.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
Okay, so that's looks to be easy lethal. Break this before the ice block comes in. Whoa, another secret. It's wild. Okay, 20. So that's 10, 21, 8, 12, 16, 19, and then I throw the 2 in.
I got this.
And pass the turn. I have a Handlock deck. Is Leroy worth disenchanting for Jaraxxus? I don't have him or Sylvanas. I think Sylvanas is the better card generally to have. Read my stuff below. I do say that you should just disenchant Leroy if you're not using it, because there's absolutely nothing you lose by doing so. So I think Black Knight is good. Yeah, in fact, let me remind myself by trying to fit a Black Knight in this deck. I think it's a really good card to put in right now due to all the Sludge Belchers and also the mirror matchups. But from this list, I'm quite uncertain about what to cut for it. Maybe an Earthen Ring Farseer because things have gotten less aggressive. That could be interesting. I'll do that. So this is basically a much more late game handlock now. It's like, do I want to kill this? No, 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 no. Alright. One's good enough.
For Doomhammer, your soul shall be mine!
I would definitely Shaman. I definitely expect a deck like this to be seen a lot in upcoming tournaments, just because it seems to have a good matchup against quite a lot of other things. And of course it's not without its faults, because there are quite a few decks which also beat it. Oh, Shaman aggro. It's a little different. Very happy to get the Hellfire here. Hopefully this stays at 3 health, though I doubt it. Could consider playing just Big Game Hunter. The card I really want to draw is Soulfire.
I wonder.
I play BGH, he trades with Zombie Chow. Eh. Oh, yeah. What do I think of Blood Mage Thanos in handlock? I had also considered putting in that card. I think it's worth consideration. Why did I cut Power Overwhelming? Well, I mean, if you want the easy answer, it's because there's no longer Leroy in the deck. Is it still worth putting in? Maybe. Maybe not. Time will tell. How's this matchup against Controlled Paladin? I think Controlled Paladin is favored. By how much, I don't know. Well, here's where I hope to get Molten Giant. 1, 2, 3, 5. Hellfire will make me take 4 damage next turn. Then, let's see, it only makes me take 1 damage less. Though, deck like this probably runs Bloodlust. I mean, if there's Bloodlust, no matter what play I make, I lose anyways.
So many possibilities.
I'm gonna risk it all.
Shields up.
Okay, the good news is he didn't kill me, and that's actually a very big... I mean, that's obviously very good news.
I wonder.
If I Hellfire, I will take 8 damage next turn. So the Siphon Soul is correct.
I got this.
I'm 4 points short of lethal, which is better than 3 points. I just saw the suggestion to Ironbeak Owl the totem and Hellfire. That was a much better idea.
soul shall be mine!
Oh, I tapped into Owl. Okay. Well, that would make sense then. Or is that... I don't know. This start by the Shaman is a lot less scary than the last one. But, I mean, he could easily have the more anti-handlock hand cards. Namely the Hexes and the Earthshocks. Well, he doesn't have it. I should attempt to get value out of my Mountain Giant before it gets killed. I could silence this, that's not worth silencing. Tap. And then play Sun Fury.
Shields up.
When I see a wounded giant like this, I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have cut the second Earthen Ring. Throughout these next several games, something to always think about for me is going to be, what card should I cut for second Earthen Ring Farseer? Because Earthen Ring Farseer is a pretty good card in this deck. I can use this first Hellfire lightly, and then not tap, because my hand is terrible. It's like 9 cards of complete garbage. I could Hellfire coin Big Game Hunter. Yeah, that's actually... It's sad, but I think it's best.
I've got the beast in my veins.
I mean, this is a good hand to look at when you think about cards cut. It's like, oh man, I drew both Hellfires and both Shadow Flames. That does suck. But, as we saw from last game, getting the double Hellfire, well, having a greater chance to Hellfire, turned out to be really good. Soulfire. My hand is currently quite bad, so I am willing to take the risk, and then I'll tap. Hellfire. Belcher. Excellent. Really, a lot of what to cut is going to depend on what I experience as the metagame. The BGH in this deck is a very big anti-handlock measure. Perhaps it could be cut. Perhaps, yeah. Alright, I think I'll do that. It's like only good against handlock. But that, and Control Warrior, but it's like I figured handlock would be pretty popular right now. Is there anything I want to silence outside of that? Oh, and good, he just used an Earthshock. Should be alright. Would it be possible to put Kel'Thuzad into this deck? I think it would be a poor choice. It's very rare for this deck to have a board other than when it's about to win, I think.
I I have no time for games.
Only 2 cards left. Alright. Cool. Would I say Handlock is weaker now than its prior variant now that the burst has been taken out? Yes and no. Handlock is weaker, but Hunter is out of the game. So... And it's not even like removing the Leroy makes this deck that much worse. It just makes it different.
There's little time.
Playing around Moltens. Alright, so I got my Black Knight for that, I got my Mortal Coil for that, and then he's only got 1 card left.
None shall pass.
It's possible I should have done the Black Knight and then Shadow Flame the Black Knight. I do believe that is the stronger play. 4, 6, 11. So I'm at 11. And I will not tap to not go into Bloodlust range, I guess. Since once he uses those 2 cards, the game is over.
Noxus is ours.
My shield for Argon.
Continue to have some pretty good Shadow Flame opportunities, but I'll just keep passing them up. This play was pretty strong.
Pass me that arc light
Especially since
burner.
he's out of Earth Shocks. Oh no, I should definitely Faceless and Molten. There's obviously a lot of contention on running 2 Shadow Flame and 2 Hellfire, and I'll recognize that, and you are free to remove 1 of Shadow Flame or Hellfire if you so desire. It is more standard not to run 2 of both. I have chosen to do so, partly to experiment, partly because I think it's good.
There's little time.
I could Shadow Flame, but it's probably better to do that, yeah. Why do I put Ragnaros in the deck? Because it's a big guy and this is a control deck. There's so many VGH targets in here, and Hex targets, so putting in another threat at the end seems fine if the metagame is really control heavy. What about replacing Leroy for Arcane Golem? I think that's a valid direction to take the deck. I have chosen not to take that direction. It's neither wrong nor right. I'll take the BGA chat. I'll put it in after I run into a lot of hand luck. Copy. Oh my gosh, someone's shouting. I mean, it's just RNG. And this isn't even top legend, so I don't really know what to say about this. That Prismata tournament was played with the with Leroy and Buzzard banned, which effectively takes them out, so it's a good source of info. I'm going to seriously think about not tapping here because Drake gets Earthshocked anyways, but I will ultimately make the decision to tap after all. How edgy. What are my thoughts on Gnomish Inventor? It's a fine card to put in a control deck. The game is the metagame. Of course, I can't really make any claims about the metagame given that these are my first 5 games of Constructed and I'm not even Legend yet this month. But from what I've heard in the grapevine, the metagame has slowed down by enough that you can run slower cards. Alright, I want to Soulfire that. Could also Owl and Shadow Flame. I think that's better. What do I think of giant mage decks? Well, obviously they're a lot more viable now that Hunter's out of the picture. I can't really say what I think of them, given that there are so many different varieties of them. And I'm not sure, since I haven't played the deck. Do I feel safe using only one Siphon Soul? Yeah. Given the slower nature, like, one could argue that 2 Siphon Souls is clearly superior, but I've chosen to replace the Siphon Soul with Sylvanas. The two share similar roles. I hope Sylvanas is good. I should really pay attention and note that the last turn, with 7 mana and a bunch of cards, all he did was Totem. I don't know what his hand is. A lot of removal. That's what his hand is. I actually know what his hand is. It's a lot of removal. Yes, it has to. Black Knight? Sludge Belcher Defender? Nah, Defender is better on cards. Black Tap? Belcher?
I wonder.
Looks like no matter what, tap is in. Alright, this makes Watcher Belcher flow better. Can you replace Draxus with Alexstrasza? You can. It is my opinion that Draxus is better, but do what you want.
Minions, servants, soldiers of the cold dark, obey the call of Kel'Thuzad.
Okay. Part of me wants to save this owl for the second part of Thaddeus, which would be the Fugan. Do I even have a way to remove Kel'Thuzad? Don't see one. Actually, I can remove Kel'Thuzad if I want to. I would use Hellfire. That's not even that hard. Hellfire, Owl this into that, and then Coil.
So many
Yeah, that's good move.
possibilities.
That would be using the second Owl, though. Oh, or I could just Soulfire. Yeah.
I wonder.
And then... Okay, that's... Okay.
Almost out of time.
The move has been figured out. If I discard the Coil, then I can go with the Owl plan. Oh my gosh. That's rough. No, I need to save this Owl. Ah! Ah. I should have put this on this side. Didn't matter. How many hexes has he used? 0? Probably holds like... I can't remember any of my guys being hexed. So I'm going to assume he's used 0. Okay. Bummer. I imagined he had a lot of burst in hand, and he does. But I wasn't quite that scared.